economics now says, forget fossil fuels, let's move into the green revolution. So there's lots of things to be positive, but I think this is where everybody, particularly the youth, are getting frustrated because politicians are too slow. We need to actually speed up this transition as fast as possible. We have to do everything, we have to do it now, and we have to do it as fast as possible. We also have to make sure, though, it does not affect people adversely. Social justice, environmental justice, climate justice must be at the heart of every single political decision. The Anthropocene is this really interesting concept which scientists have come up with to describe the current geological period. It seems that humans have had so much impact on the Earth that we really have become a new geological superpower, and hence we should name the new era the Anthropocene. We should actually think about the evidence. Are we really in the Anthropocene? So if we think about it, we have cut down 3 trillion trees since the beginning of agriculture. That's half the trees on the planet. We make enough concrete to cover the whole world in a layer 2 millimeters thick, and that covers the oceans as well. We make over 300 million tons of plastic each year, which ends up in our oceans and even in our own blood. There has been a plastic bag found at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, which is 7 kilometers deep in the Northwest Pacific. And the fact that I always give out to people that really shows that we're in the Anthropocene is the weight of land mammals. If we take those, 30% are humans. There's 7.9 billion of us. 67% is our livestock and our pets. Just 3% of the weight of land mammals are all those wild animals that we love to see on TV on a Sunday night sitting on the sofa. Just 3%. So I would say to you, welcome to the Anthropocene. We, humanity, are the new geological superpower. We have deforested vast areas of the tropics. We have drained wetlands. We have destroyed unique ecosystems. We're also polluting the planet. We're putting heavy metals, we're putting minerals and plastics into our soils, into our rivers, and into our oceans. So therefore, I take a much more holistic approach to humanity's impact on the planet. And any solution that we have to climate change must also deal with other things. It must deal with actually improving people's lives. It must deal with actually improving our environment. And I see that there are so many win-win-win solutions out there that we can actually build a better planet for everyone. For me, there are 4 major challenges of the 21st century. Climate change, that's very clear. Environmental degradation, all of the deforestation, the loss of natural habitats. Poverty alleviation, because remember, at the moment, we have 7 million children that die needlessly around the world of preventable diseases and starvation. We have 825 million people that go to bed feeling hungry every night because they don't have access to enough food. And we still have 1 billion people that does not have access to safe, clean drinking water. And the 4th one is global security. We need to live in a world where countries don't suddenly invade other countries, and people should have the right to a secure life wherever they live. To tackle those, we need to think about our population as a planetary population. And this is the interesting thing I think about young people, because they don't think of us as isolated groups. They do think of us as humanity. And personally, I think this is the next stage of human evolution. We think as individuals, we think as families, we think as tribal groups, we think of countries. But what we have to do is step up one more and think of us as a global species with a global footprint and a global impact on the planet, but also responsibility at the moment for all 7.9 billion people on the planet. It is no good us being able to drive 4x4s, eat steak, and basically party every night when there are people still starving to death in the rest of the world. That is not a global species. And we must become that global species so we can lift everybody, making sure that we have social justice that goes along with our climate justice. And you can perceive this. Think of the world in 2050. Okay? There'll be 10 billion people, and that will stabilize. We can feed 11 billion people already, so we have enough food for everybody. We make $90 trillion every single year in the global economy. That's enough money for everybody. We have enough resources now for everybody to have a good lifestyle. So what we have to do is change the way we think. We have to actually get rid of that historic legacy of rich countries and poor countries, undo the damage of colonialism, decolonize our thoughts, and be able to lift everybody up to the same standard so we become one world, one people, all looking after each other. I think the challenge of climate change is a tripartite. We have government, corporations, and individuals. And what we need is all three of them to step up and actually change. First thing, if you think about it, governments can lead, they can regulate, they can subsidize, they can incentivize, they can make changes happen by gently nudging. Corporations, incredibly dynamic. They can actually change on a dime. They can make new products. They can actually make things safer. They can make things carbon negative whenever they want to. And then we have individuals. And individuals, we all feel that we are insignificant. We don't have any power. But that's not true. Because as individuals, firstly, we demand changes from government. We say to government, no, this is what we want. This is what will make us vote for you. In terms of corporations, we have individual power because where we put our money is really important to them. And so therefore we can choose to go for more sustainable brands or plant-based diets, things that really we care about. And the other thing that individuals forget is they forget their own influence. I have sat in $1 billion company and seen it change overnight. Why? Because two individuals had a conversation, middle management, over the water cooler, where they were both struggling with climate anxiety. They explained it to each other and went, oh, you feel the same way. And then they started to talk to other people. And the company suddenly realized that all the employees felt the same way. And suddenly the company changed. So within 5 years, they went from 0 to hero. And this is the power of individuals. You never know what conversation you have with what person will make a big change. I absolutely believe that there is reasons to be hopeful. We have the scientists, we have the knowledge about our impacts. We have all the technology. We have incredible entrepreneurs, we have incredible business leaders who, if we actually incentivize them in the right way, will actually create even more solutions to the current environmental issues. We have young people. Young people have really changed the way we think about the environment. They're out there protesting. They see the world in a very different way. They see it as this small, interconnected ball, which is very fragile. I think the pandemic has also made us all feel that we are really very close to nature, and nature is not always benign, and therefore we have to respect it, and therefore we need to actually change our relationship with that. We have the engineers who can actually build the new infrastructure that we need to have a low carbon society. What we lack are the inspirational leaders. There are voices in the dark that are calling to us to change the way we do things, change how we organize society, and those are the ones we should listen to. But overall, our politicians and our policies are not fit for purpose. And this is where we as individuals need to stand up and say, I'm sorry, enough is enough. I want leaders that I can respect, that I can follow, and I know are going to actually make us have a better world.